Hey everyone, my name is Sophie from Sophisticated Organization. Welcome to another Sophisticated Saturday where together we work through my to-do list and get stuff done around the house. Starting off in my bedroom by making the bed, but today I want to mention that the theme of today's Sophisticated Saturday is going to be Halloween. It is the beginning of October, so I think it's safe to talk about Halloween at this point. I have a Halloween treat planned as well as some goodies that I'm going to put together for Owen. So once I'm done making my bed, I'm going to head into the kitchen and we're going to be making chocolate donuts that are Halloween themed. So the first thing I'm doing is gathering all of those ingredients together and getting them ready to go on my countertop. The first ingredient there was 2 cups of all-purpose flour, followed by 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, and then 1/2 a cup of cocoa powder, followed by 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt, and that will complete all of your dry ingredients. In a separate bowl, I'm getting together all of my wet ingredients, which is 2 large eggs, 1 cup of milk, and I opted for oat milk. I didn't have whole milk, which the recipe called for. And you'll also need 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So I measured out my 2 tablespoons, got that melting in the microwave, quickly mixed my dry ingredients together because I forgot to do that, and then measured out my milk, got that in there. And then for wet ingredients, you will also need 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla and then 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Mix that all together, pour your butter in there, and then once all of the butter is incorporated, you can mix your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients. This recipe does say to stir the wet mixture until the dry ingredients are just combined, and I read a different recipe. I chose not to make that one, but in that recipe, it really emphasized the importance of not over mixing your dough here, or your mixture, I guess I should say, because it will make for dry donuts. So I really wanted to make sure that I did not overmix them. Once it was combined, I stopped. And I've used these trays a few times to make baked donuts. Obviously, it's a little bit healthier than fried donuts. And the best way that I've found to do it is to use a piping bag. I'm just using a reusable piping bag here. You could use a normal piping bag that's disposable or a Ziploc bag and cut off the corner. Pro tip is to put it over a glass, to use the glass to help keep it open while you fill it up. I got as much in there as I could and then pushed it through and then just piped little circles there into the donut tin and tried to fill them about 3/4 of the way full as the recipe called for. The recipe said it would make 18. And by the end of this, I just got 12. So I don't know if I overfilled them or what the deal was, but at the end of baking them, they turned out perfect. So if you follow this recipe and you only end up with 12 donuts, don't be afraid. It worked out just great. But at the end of filling 10 of them, I did have to fill that piping bag up with the last little bit. Once it was full, I popped those into the oven, and then while they baked, I was going to get to putting together Owen's little Halloween basket. The types of things I have dreamed about doing for my kids forever. I love crafting, and I love making little gifts like this, even if it's just things that I'm going to buy for Owen anyway, which these things are. And let's be honest, he's not even a year old yet, so he doesn't know the difference between any of this. He doesn't know about holidays yet, but I think it is just so fun to kind of celebrate like the little moments and make childhood really exciting and fun for him. So I grabbed him a few pairs of pajamas from Old Navy at the Old Navy outlet that I would have gotten him anyway. I just started giving him some puffs, and these ones are pumpkin cinnamon flavor, so those are perfect. A little Halloween book, and we got him a Halloween bucket from Target. This was $1. He's not going to go trick-or-treating because, again, he's under the age of 1. I'm not really planning on giving him candy. So it's just more of a cute thing. He can probably use it next year or the year after. And I'm monogramming it with his name to make it extra special for him, and then going to put all of this together. Hopefully as he gets older and I continue to do stuff like this for different holidays and things, he will appreciate it and get really excited. But again, these were things that I would have purchased for him anyway, just kind of fun to put it all together into a little gift bag for him. I checked the donuts, they were done, so I pulled them out of the oven and let them cool. And while they were cooling, today's major task for the day was deep cleaning all of the floors on the top floor of our house. So I started by putting the mats in the washing machine. I added a little bit of bleach. I use Tide with Oxy for bigger heavy duty jobs like cleaning our floor mats or dirty rags, things like that. And then I wanted to vacuum all of the floors first, get up all of the little pieces and dust, and then mop the entire first floor. So I'm kind of going room by room, space by space, making sure I first vacuum, and then I go back and mop. Quick break because the donuts were cool enough so I could pull them out of the donut tins and let them finish cooling on the rack while I went back upstairs and continued with the floors.
Only got one chance and got one life to live, and it's do or die, gotta make it count, so lose you.
Now I was on to the mopping portion of cleaning the floors, so I pulled out my bin to get out my squirt mop. That's what I've been using to clean my floors, both tile and hardwood. I have 2 different squirt mops, one for tile, one for hardwood. They're different scents and different formulas, and I am just using my mop and bucket. I like to do this when I'm doing a really deep clean. I have actually 3 different methods and ways that I clean the floors, or mop the floors, I guess I should say. For really quick cleanups when I don't want to get out a whole process of like a mop and bucket, I have a Bona mop, and that is just a squirt mop. It's kind of like a Swiffer wet jet where you press a trigger and it has a mop pad on the bottom. The pads on the bottom are machine washable, so I really like that one for quick cleans. Like I said, this mop and bucket has been with me for quite a while, and it is a tried and true method for me to get a really good deep clean of the floor. And then I have a third method that is my wet mop vacuum, wet vacuum, and that I've shared here on my channel as well. So it vacuums up and mops the floor at the same time. It's probably like a good in the middle, I would say, because it is doing both the mopping and vacuuming, and it's better at cleaning the floor than just the Bona mop is, but not quite as good of a deep clean, I feel like, as just like a good old mop and bucket. So I do pull this out every once in a while and give all of my floors a really good clean.
Until my whole body burns out, I ain't never gonna slow down.
The house always smells so good after I use the squirt mop. I love both scents, both one for tile and hardwood. But when I just finish mopping all of the floors, it makes my house feel so clean. I do like carpet because I find it easier to clean because it's just one step. All you do is vacuum. But when I have hardwood floors and have the ability to mop them, I just feel like there's nothing that gets as clean as being able to vacuum and then mop, if that makes sense. Like, you can't clean your carpets or deep clean them as easily. Most of the carpets in this house are in pretty good shape. When we moved in, we did notice that some of the carpets are pulling up a little bit or kind of bunching, especially in our closet. That's one spot where there's a little bit of bunching, and there are some stains, a few in my office, a couple in Jim's office. On the stairs, we have some stains. So eventually I'm thinking we might need to replace some carpets, but that's an expense we don't want to have right now. So for now, we're leaving the carpets as is. You can't really tell. And I have done some deep cleaning of them. I have a tool that I can use to clean the carpets. So maybe I will share that coming up soon so you can see how I do that and get rid of stains in the carpet as well. As you can see, I'm moving room to room, making sure I first vacuum, then mop. I have made my way through the laundry room, through the hallway, into the bedroom, and then next up, I'm going to go into our bathroom, and further down, we also have our closet. Into the bathroom, before I can even take the first step of vacuuming, I need to take all of the rugs out and figure this is as good a time as any to wash those floor mats. I washed the ones that we had in the laundry room, so I might as well wash these ones as well, and then get back to the bathroom so I can start to vacuum that space out. Okay, let me know in the comments below if you are somebody who likes to sweep or likes to vacuum your hardwood or tile floors, just your hard surfaces. I've gone back and forth. I have a broom and a dustpan downstairs for quick cleanups, and I still sometimes feel like the broom does a better job than the vacuum does. So let me know what you prefer to do when you are cleaning your hard floors. That was it for the floors. I just wanted to finish doing the upstairs. I wasn't gonna tackle the rest of the entire house today. If you've followed my cleaning routine, you know I break apart rooms and floors, so I don't have to do everything all at once. Bear with me as I do this frosting for the donuts. I wanted to try two different types. So I was gonna do a chocolate frosting as well as a vanilla frosting that I was gonna play around with some food colorings. I found some really fun inspiration photos online. I don't even know where I found it. Maybe through Pinterest, maybe just Googling. But I had all of these lofty ideas to make one a ghost, and one look like a pumpkin, and one look like a mummy, and one look like all these different fun fall and Halloween type things. We have a Halloween party that we got invited to, so I was thinking this would be really fun to make, and I always like testing out recipes before I serve it to other people or bring it to a party. So this was not only a fun little Halloween treat for us, but kind of a test run, and the chocolate turned out great. It was so delicious. The recipe that I'm going to link in the description box below has 5 different frosting recipes for donuts, so you could play around with some other ones. The vanilla one wasn't bad, but you'll see what happens in a minute. Also, Owen was up from his nap, so Jim brought him over to his little activity center to play while I finished frosting the donuts. And I will say his days are probably numbered in this little thing. We don't like putting him in here too much because we want him to continue to learn how to walk and freely move around. He's crawling all over the place right now, so sometimes we do need to contain him a little bit, but he is starting to enjoy this a little bit less. He likes more so using this to pull up at it and use it as a table and play with it that way. But if I have him free roaming around the kitchen, we have to keep a much closer eye on him, so we put him in there for just a few minutes to play. So you'll see how great those chocolate donuts turned out. I had some Halloween sprinkles that I put on top of it, and it was perfect. So if you are gonna make this and you do the chocolate and put some fun Halloween sprinkles on it, this is an easy recipe. I can tell that it's gonna be something that people would enjoy. So go ahead and do it that way. It does actually look like on camera, the orange turned out okay, but the thing is the orange didn't really come out as opaque as I wanted it to. It was pretty translucent. I think if you would have done a more vanilla-based donut, it would look just fine, but because it was slightly translucent and on a chocolate donut, it didn't look great. So I let it sit there for a while, and later, kind of off camera, I did dip it in the orange one more time, and it did get much more opaque. So maybe the colored frostings just take 2 rounds of dipping and letting it dry in between. But you can see from this angle how translucent it is and how you can see that chocolate coming through the orange. I decided not to screw around with it too much, so I just frosted the rest of them with the chocolate. Tasted great, it looked great, put some sprinkles on it, and grabbed my cake stand so I could arrange them and put them away and store them. And then I didn't want the orange ones to go to waste, so I did decide to make them kind of fun and put a couple of fun little eyes on them. I did see one of the examples I found online that did this. I happened to have those sprinkle eyes, so I tried it out and I thought it looked pretty cute, but the sprinkle ones are my favorite. That is it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and until next time, I will see you guys later.